Immaculate 101 here. This is my fourth take because I realize I've been saying so much stuff, and I have to learn to speak from a place of compassion. I have to, because I'm speaking of a place of being real, but not everybody wants to be real, honest with themselves. It's been a while since I've been back in the video I'm speaking scene to YouTube. I've still been doing the public speaking scene, in the public speaking scene behind the scenes. You know, I talk to a lot of children. I have a lot of little youngsters that come to me, and I appreciate it. From a year and a half ago, a year or so coming into this year, which this year is basically almost gone in the next 90 days. 90 days, 3 months. What I've learned and what I've taught during this part of my life in alignment is not only to be a part of a team. Everybody has differences. And just because you have differences does not mean that the person is wrong or they're not right. Different perspectives just mean at the end of the day, y'all different in perspectives. But that doesn't mean that the person who was demonstrative, there's so many different ways to pronounce it. Just because I said something in a certain way doesn't mean it's wrong. Some people come from a place of realness, and I would like to believe that I am coming from a place of realness. I'm not trying to be a guru. I'm not trying to be none of that. I just like that to come to terms with healing of others people's opinions and respect where they're coming from, even if they feel they were right. I respect their point of view. But then there's also what's straight in front of your face, and that's what the topic is about today. I like when people say, they just mad at me, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing this, and most people feel this is the topic I stay on all the time. People always feel. The word is feel. We need feeling. But there's a time to use feeling, because people can use the feeling for manipulation. People will feel that something's done a certain way because they've been doing it so long. I feel if I speak straight up that people will get the message, but not all people get it that way. Some people want you to talk to them like, you have to get yourself together and get your life on track. I'm not one of those people, because I passed those stages. There's levels to this shit. I'm an adult about my lifestyle. I'm adult about when I make mistakes. And you're not going to hear me sugarcoat it to help someone else get on their feet. I am the kind of person that's like, son, you fucking up. Pull your shit together. I'm not going to baby none of my people, and I'm not going to hold their hand either. I'm going to give that harsh criticism. And I don't mean the criticism to where I'm judging them. That's not what I'm here for, because I've been there. The harsh criticism coming from me is, you see yourself? This is who you are. This is what you're doing. And if you tell me about me, I hear it from you the same way. And what can we do to make this situation a better situation? What can you do? Not we, because I'm not, at the end of the day, if you walk away from me, your life is no longer, we don't share the same circumference. So, I don't want to, it's 4 minutes, I'm still talking, I'm going in circles. The point of this is, people are separated by how they feel personally about a situation rather than looking at it for what it is, their own personal opinion. The situation is a whole collective. When we see something as a whole collective, that means you're thinking about others and how others feel into the whole situation of the matter. And I'm talking about this working in groups. Most people rather create a division or a clique of, if this person, they have their clique of people who only agree with them to fulfill their own personal agenda. And this is what I've learned for a year and a half of being in groups. when they're not thinking collectively of a situation. I hear people say, well, I did more work than this and I'm trying to do this because of this. What can y'all do to bring the whole situation as a whole to benefit everyone and not just you personally? Because at the end of the day, it's going to reflect on all of you guys, and everybody should be doing their own things behind the scenes anyway. It's not about you all wanting the spotlight or I'm just doing what I got to do to get this done. Because at the end of the day, when everyone is worrying about their own clique and who's stepping up and who's doing this because the other person ain't catch up to them, that creates a jealousy. Their own personal envy. Because when the spotlight is shown, these be the same people. I'm about to say motherfuckers. that's me, that's my Lilith. Aquarius moon. Y'all don't know about that. Forget it. It makes people want to harbor feelings. I don't need to worry about what other people say. But for those of you who find it hard to get past the social, I call it social insecurity. They have a lot of social insecurities. Hold on, let me do this right. I got it. I got the words I needed to say. You know what? I'm not even going to stop recording because this is my fourth take and I'm like, why am I correcting myself when I should be free to say what I need to say? And we get past this. Social insecurities is another form of division for not only our black people, not only for hip hop, not only for people in their personal lives, even families. It breaks up families. It breaks up families that do businesses together. It breaks up people's commitments. And when I say commitments, while you're worrying about what the other person is doing, what are you doing in the process? You can lie to yourself and say, I'm doing this. You don't know what that other person is doing behind the scene. You know, we never know. But if you haven't brought it to light or been communicative with other people, how would they know what you're doing? And you can say, oh, I did this to help the situation for myself, yourself personally, and did this to help the situation for this, once again, personally, and no one else knows about the agenda at hand. Does that make you right personally? It makes you feel like you did something. But if the whole group or team of people doesn't know, how can you even say anything? And this is part of joining teams. Some people be in their feelings like, you didn't communicate to me that you wanted to do this. This is why I feel you should not, do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to give y'all a couple of personal issues because it was an issue. It was an issue for me. So hopefully it'll help you guys out. One time or another, I joined this particular organization with people. I don't remember one of the names, but they ask you to announce who you are. A lot of these places ask you to announce who you are and speak up about. I'm not gonna make this long because I really am not feeling good. I'm really not. They asked me to speak about who I am, blah, blah, blah. And I said, actually, this was a part of the school committee. And I said I didn't like how the school committee thing was going on and, introduce myself and I can make it better. And mind you, I did not know that the speech I gave for people to vote for me to join into this group, that people felt some kind of way. Now, mind you, at hand, I'm completely just speaking for myself for the election at hand, and I'm still thinking about the compassion of other people. Now, there's other people who might feel exactly just the way I feel. I don't like how it is, but they ain't gonna say it. But the difference between me and these people is I'm here saying it. So I naturally am that type of person. If I don't like something, I'm going to say it, even if it hurts the person's feelings, because I know that if someone brings something to my attention and they won't speak up about it, I am going to speak up about it. And I'm not trying to hurt another person when I'm speaking up about it for the others who feel the same way I feel. So, having said that, this created a big behind the scene chaos, right? So now, after all of this, I get a meeting, and because I come from a place of healing. You tell me something, I say it, I don't harbor feelings. I don't feel no way. I am, like I said, it's two types of people. There's feelers and there's thinkers. Then there's people who initially just respond, and then there's people who just sit back. I sit back and analyze till even I decimate it to where I'm like, Lord, I'm so confused. Conundrum. That's me all day. I overanalyze things. This is another reason why I am so reserved to where I can't take it no more, which can make it very explosive. So this is therapeutic for me sharing this with you guys. So now we come across the meeting, and now, it comes across the meeting that, someone introduced me to the committee because I end up being the vice president of the group, and the person was the other person was the president, and I spoke to them. I come back the next day. I see a bunch of women in front of the place the place, and people, they were standing there cackling. I was like, "How y'all doing?" There's like, "I heard that you was going around talking about you're the president and blah 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 blah." This is not me. I don't even tell people what I do. If I ever talk about something I do, it's going to be personally with people I trust personally. So, I mean, I've never been one I didn't even introduce myself as this. I'm not that kind of person because I don't like credibility. I like credibility for public works. I don't like credibility for something that I'm trying to figure out. How does a group of people work together, and how do we make it better? I'm not out for something personally to fulfill myself. I'm not. And that is true about me. I can't stand personal gratification unless it's helping others. I don't want personal gratification. I don't want social gratification that helps others and after my own personal agendas, because I do this regularly without other people. I'd rather be home by myself in my own headspace. My home is my headspace. My bathroom is my headspace. So and I said no, I said that's hearsay. So now I said, and I told the each individual, I said, if you have a problem, and you have a problem, y'all would need to bring it to me right now, because now I had enough, because I felt the tension. I just wasn't sure. I said, nah, this got to be me living in my head. This got to be something I'm not needing to face, because it could be just paranoia. But you know how when you feel something and it's not on your part, you just know that it rubs people the wrong way? It happens because you know what you stand for and what could happen good for you, but other people don't want that for you. So now we have a meeting of such at the with a meeting with me and a couple of ladies, and I get to the table. The person was like, "Well, when you said this at the meeting, that you felt something could have been done differently, why you didn't come to me and tell me? And I've known you for X amount of years." I said, the same way you say you know me for X amount of years and that you was cool with me, you could have told me that you was running for the same thing. Like they felt, because initially I didn't know about the person actually even being the president or doing anything. I didn't. And this was a re-election for this person. For me, I only got, you could be great at this, so put yourself on a ledger. So that's what I did. And so this is the meeting. They was like, "Well, you could have told me that you didn't like X, Y, and Z." And I'm like, I let them say everything they had to say. And I said, "Well, if you claim that we were so close, like we were, why you didn't tell me about this situation?" Because there was a distance, between me and this person after X amount of years, and we still never really resolved it. But I do not harbor anything. Like, I could still see you and cool. It's just we're not as close as we should be anymore. But in time, the gods will be in support of something as such in the future. But in the meantime, life goes on, you know. And I want to click off, but I gotta say this. So the young lady, so I said that to the young lady and a bunch of the other ladies, and I said, and I squashed my other differences with the other young lady, because like I said, I started to see that this had nothing to do with me. It had to do with their own personal, what they thought what should go down. I'm not here to worry about what is proper to the people. I'm thinking about what is manageable for all of us, and to get all the other parents and other children in there. So I started seeing things that initially I didn't like, but I still needed to learn, how does a group work together, and despite our differences, how to make it work. Sure, mind you, a lot of times I've missed meetings. A lot of times because I didn't get no phone calls about meetings. A lot of times I was late, and the communication was just terrible during that time. But also, like I said, I won't make no excuses. I was late. You hear me confessing to you. I was late in X, Y, and Z. But I realized it was other personal issues that had nothing to do with me. Because of one, they expressed that if I wanted to run, I'm supposed to come to them and tell them why. Come to them and tell them that I wanted to run. If you have a job interview, this is what I'm gonna tell you. What I learned with someone. 5 people did this to me. They told me there was a job position. 5 people told me that there was a job position that this place is hiring. They was like, they going after a job, and when they get the job, they'll let me know so they could pull me in. I feel like this. Who's to say you guarantee that you're going to get that job? You telling me that they're hiring, I'm going to go there and apply. It ain't about who. I need employment just as much as you. If you're going to tell me to wait, that's something I'm not going to do. Same way the person told me that if I would have, you could have came to me and told me you didn't like X, Y, and Z. Someone came to me and told me that I would do the job just as nice. You know, you should go and elect yourself and you'll get the votes. And I did. I became vice president. So you can imagine what goes on in people's mind personally of what they feel and deem to be right. That's for one thing's for sure. But is it helpful for the collective of everyone? No, it doesn't have to be beneficial to other people, because it makes it seem like you had a hidden agenda of how you wanted this. You wanted to control how you want things to be. And then there's people behind the scenes who see people on the come up, literally on the come up of doing their thing. I'm gonna make that for another collective, for another part, because I don't want to talk so long that I'm getting off the subject. The subject of the matter is, when you feel you're right to you, does it really make the situation right? And you could be operating on your lowest frequency when you feel that something is right. And I tell all the other people, I said, just because you feel right about a situation, there could be 1,000,001 opinions about the situation. Is it really helpful for the collective of other people? Now that's part one of this take of group workings together, whether it's for the collective or for your own personal usages. I should have wrote this down, but I wanted to speak expressively without being so organized, because I want y'all to see the genuity of where I'm coming from. There's no other way to be genuine when you're not orchestrating from a place of lies. When you're organizing lies, some people could lie real good. But like Bob Marley said, you can fool people some of the time, but you can't fool people all the time. And now you see the light. Stand up for your rights. Shout outs to the long, late, and overly great Bob Marley, Aquarius sun. But yeah, a lot of things that need to be said. I'm gonna do another video, part 2 of group of just people out after their own personal agendas. Immaculate 101 here. Let me see, my nose look terrible. Later, you guys.